Tonight, shots are fired in the doorway of a First Coast shelter.
Come on in, guys.
The lockdown is over, but the investigation is just beginning.
It's a scary thing, you know. It's a scary thing that this actually happened inside of a shelter.
Good evening, I'm Kyle Meenan.
And I'm Deanna Finney. Alan and Donna have the night off. We'll get to our top story in just a moment. First, though.
And we're following more developing news, this time downtown. One person is in custody tonight after a fatal shooting at the I.M. Sulzbacher Center. That shelter on the 600 block of East Adams Street was put on lockdown moments after the shots were fired. Here's a live look right now. Homicide detectives just finishing up at the scene. First Coast News has learned that a fight broke out between two men who live at the shelter last week. Then tonight, it escalated. Tonight, our cameras take you closer to the investigation.
They are white and black, young and old, ex-husbands, ex-wives, ex-teachers, ex-builders. Everyone is an ex-something, and they are all homeless.
Sulzbacher has been a good help, you know, besides this incident, you know, and getting out of the rain, man, and getting into a shelter out of the cold is a good thing.
But in this place of last resorts and second chances, one life was ended violently just inside the entrance to the men's dormitory. We're told it was point blank.
And another guy, he came into the building, then he shot him in his chest, he turned around, shot him in his back. The guy hit the ground, and he started shooting him in his head. As
police arrived, the shelter was quickly evacuated. The suspect believed to be still on the loose inside.
He's a handicapped person, and we thought he was so much into church, and he's preaching and all this kind of stuff, and he just killed the guy.
But JSO soon found the alleged gunman. The shooting said to be fallout from an earlier argument last Friday in a nearby park.
The suspect was apprehended. Actually just a few feet from the Sulzbacher, close to the jail.
Getting into a shelter out of the cold is a good thing, but things like this, it's crazy in the world.
If you're a man, you're going to go to the dining room.
And with the first cold raindrops falling, the clients, as they're known, were called back in to a place of last resorts and second chances, forever changed.
What's going to be different when you go in tonight?
To sleep in the rain, everybody's off balance now. It's a scary thing, you know. It's a scary thing that this actually happened inside of a shelter.
And the identities of the victim and the shooter are being withheld until their families can be notified. People who live at the center tell us both men called Sulzbacher home for nearly a year. The two had been friends. Now one is dead, the other faces murder charges. Stay with First Coast News and firstcoastnews.com for continuing coverage.
Contained to the kitchen.
Well, you can call him a hometown hero. New tonight, a mother and her newborn are recovering thanks to a First Coast police officer, but he had to tweak the rules to get the job done. First Coast News reporter Lindy Thaxton shows us it was all about working against the clock.
You said I'm a doctor.
That was Lindy Thaxton reporting now. The doctor was in such a rush. He apparently looked down after surgery and he realized he was still wearing his slippers. Now, the officer did not lead the doctor with his flashing lights. Palatka Police Department tells us it doesn't make a practice of escorting people around, but it is commending Officer Poe's actions for saving both the mother and her baby. Well, tonight, only 4 men face charges in the death of a University of Florida student.
Checking top stories for you. This is certified to fly.
And tonight, we're getting a better look at what happened when those two planes collided on the tarmac at Craig Airfield. Take a look at these digital photos taken by one of the witnesses moments afterwards. It shows the damage the impact made. The nose of one plane, it dented the side of the other just behind its right wing. A spokesperson for the JAA says the crash happened in a non-movement zone, not on a runway, so neither the FAA or the NTSB will be called in to investigate. Witnesses told investigators one plane was parked, the other was taxiing to the runway. They heard a loud engine noise, then the crash. Nobody was seriously hurt.
Security have been finished. Well, that Christmas tree still standing in your living room, well, it could help others.
That's right, still ahead. Find out how it might help prevent the bird flu.
And tonight, all the lightning strikes are...
Find out how she reunited a family.
And next, you'll need to be aware of your body language the next time you go through airport security. Stay with us. Again, we're continuing to follow breaking news out of St. Augustine tonight. Detectives on the scene of a bomb threat at the St. Augustine airport. The threat was phoned in. Now, we've just learned the caller said explosives were going to detonate inside a car in the parking lot. The bomb squad has checked the car. Nothing suspicious has been found. Officers are preparing to reopen US 1 in both directions. Stay with First Coast News for continuing coverage. And the next time you go through airport security, you should be aware of your body language.
Yeah, screeners may be looking out for nervous traits to possibly pick out terrorists, but the practice is causing an uproar with at least one group. First Coast News is on your side. Law enforcement if needed. Well,
One area developer has released plans to revive a stretch of land on the city's South Bank. Jacksonville.com night editor Joe Black has a look at tomorrow's Times-Union headlines. Hey, Joe, how's it going?
Hi, Kyle. From the San Marco and St. Nicholas neighborhoods. We'll have more on tomorrow's Times-Union. Back to you.
All right, Joe, thanks very much. Well, thousands of animals were left without homes after Hurricanes Katrina and Rita. Many of them have found new families.
But CNN producer, share the details with your brothers and sisters.
That's great advice. Well, here's a great story for you. Discarded Christmas trees may help prevent the bird flu. The reason? Christmas trees have shakamic acid, the main ingredient of the medicine Tamiflu. That acid is usually only supplied by China, but there's not enough available, so health companies are turning to evergreen trees in Canada. Tamiflu manufacturers say when Christmas trees run out, they'll consider harvesting new ones.
Well, we have plenty of Christmas trees right now, that old Christmas trees
That's
hanging
right.
around.
Drying out, getting ready to be picked
Yeah.
up. All right. Hey, Byron Leftwich did practice today for the Jags for the first time in a month, but the big question, will he play in the last game of the regular season? Pete Cataldo's ahead with the answer in sports.
Crews have not found anything suspicious.
All right, Pete, the big question, of course, is
who's going to play?
Exactly.
Who's going to play? Is it Leftwich or Garrard? Even they're wondering.
I'm glad I'm not making the decision. And then you throw the ball away like that.
What's the deal with
on
the
the
blue
ugliest field? Well, FedEx colors, was it?
No, Boise State has the blue field. I don't exactly know why they have the blue field.
Gotta be confusing
but
for the players.
they're known for the blue
field.
All right.
We'll stay with us. And continuing now on that breaking news out of St. Augustine at the airport, we have our first video in-house right now. This is the scene after a bomb threat was called in of explosives in a vehicle at the airport.
Yeah, the airport is about to reopen. US 1 has reopened. All right, thanks for joining us. The news continues now on firstcoastnews.com.
Be sure to join Good Morning Jacksonville tomorrow morning.